Hi folks, Lexizes here. I was actually I'll just take that out of the way for a second. I've just got a new display case, and I was just thinking what to put in it. So I've got a whole lot of knives out on my desk, just trying to work out what's worth putting in the case and what's perhaps not. But I interrupt this program, as it were, because many of you will remember that just last week, or was it the week before? Time flies these days. I was sent this little knife by a number of really lovely people in the knife community who I can't say I really know them. They perhaps know me better because they've followed my channel and my life. But anyway, they sent me this, which I was over the moon with, and 2 slips as well. Don't forget that, because the slips and this little bead lanyard were also made by various people who contributed to that gift. There is a video on that. Anyway, so I got this the other day. This is probably my favourite pattern at the moment, and I've been trying to collect knives by different makers. I've always liked mother of pearl, so mother of pearl gets in there. This one is a Stephen Cocker. Somewhere here I've got a tailor's one, and I should have the tailor's one out because it's tailors I want to talk about today. These are people that make knives in Sheffield. So Tailors Eyewitness, Sheffield, England, English Pewter Company, Sheffield, England. So they are part of the town that used to be known as Steel City, because it's where not all of the steel made in Britain was made, but it was one of the really big centres of steel making. And around that steel making, we also had grew up the industry of cutlery. So Sheffield cutlery is famous the world over. In the 19th century, it was the maker for the world over. You had Solingen, Toledo in Spain, Solingen in Germany, that is, and a couple of other places. But right up there at the top was Sheffield, Birmingham to some extent as well in the UK. But so it was known as Steel City. So there is an internet channel, and I hope you're all subscribed to it. If you're not, please do, called Steel City Knives, and set up by a guy who lives actually just outside Sheffield, I think, but near enough. And he's in love with pocket knives, not just Sheffield made knives, but knives from various parts of the world as well. Mostly like traditional slip joints. Anyway, he was asked if he would like to go in on this gift, but he declined, which obviously one could take personally, but no, he declined for a very good reason. That's because he'd already got this for me, and this is something that's really unusual. I've never seen them before. I've never seen this tie-up before, but I'm very pleased to have made their acquaintance now. In fact, I would like to see if I could get some more of these knives, because I'm running out of different sort of cover materials and things to get from Tailors Eyewitness. Occasionally something comes up. I got a tiger wood Barlow the other day. Tiger wood was a wood I didn't have. But anyway, Steel City Knives sent me this out of the blue. Nothing in return for it. Not part of a trade or a deal. I did know he was doing it because he had mentioned it in a video that he'd done But as I say, this I suspect is actually made by tailors, because the skill in knife making is available in tailors, and perhaps not so much in the English Pewter Company. But the scales covers are very definitely made by the English Pewter Company. So we'll have a look at that in a second. A couple of things come in here. The English Pewter Company, Sheffield, England. This quality pewter product has been quality controlled, checked and packed by Julie, which again suggests to me that it wasn't actually made by them. I suspect it's the covers are made by them, but the knife is made by Taylor's Owen. I don't know that for a fact, but I will do some more research, and we'll maybe have another look at this knife. Then there's a little leaflet on the English Pewter Company. I don't know whether you'll know or not, but pewter used to be the material for making plates, bowls, and hip flasks are traditionally made of pewter. It's a sort of fancier metal than steel, and it doesn't corrode like steel does. It does take on a patina, but that's generally quite a nice soft grey patina, and you'll see that a lot. And if you watch Game of Thrones or whatever, sort of Middle Ages style plates are either wooden or pewter. Very occasionally they'll be made of silver or plated in gold, but that was only for the very super rich. And the moderately wealthy would use pewter. Unfortunately, my experience of pewter is a bit limited. When I was at school, I used to carry a hip flask, and my tipple of choice at that time was Johnny Walker's Red Label. So I used to have a bottle in my dorm, and I would carry a little hip flask around. But I got a pewter one, but I stopped using it quite quickly because it flavoured the whiskey. And when you've got the subtle tastes of flavours of whiskey, it does seem a shame to spoil them with the taste of pewter. I found modern stainless steel works far better, but the pewter one still looks nice. Anyway, so here we have a knife which is very reminiscent of the cutlery industry of Sheffield in terms of table cutlery and so forth, because this sort of heavy weight, it is obviously it's pewter because it's the English Pewter Company, but it's the sort of thing that might have been done in silver plate, or rarely but occasionally in gold plate, usually silver plate. I have some cutlery which is all sort of silver plated, but looks rather like this. Now, I don't think this is engraved. I might be wrong. I think it's cast. If it's engraved by hand, then these are super value for money. They're not cheap. They're not by any means. I don't want to devalue this gift that was sent to me, but they're surprisingly inexpensive for what they are. So much so that I'm really hoping to pick up a few before the price goes through the roof, which I suspect it probably will eventually. Now, the other thing is, I've been trying to see how this knife is made. In other words, where are the pins? And I'll come to the other side in a minute. Now, I can't see the pins. Now, that means to me it's probable that the pins are under the covers. The covers are then put on over the top. How they're applied, I don't know. But again, I think I might. I will do a bit of digging, because I bet you if I speak to Lee at Taylor's, he'll be able to tell me a lot of the background to this. Now, I'm just going to turn the knife over. Well, before I do, let's just look at the back. It's the back is stainless steel spring, I think stainless steel liners. But then we turned it over, and not only did he get me this beautiful knife, I have a thing about shields on knives. I don't particularly like them because I think they often sort of spoil a beautiful piece of natural material. But I'm coming round to them because I've got a few now. And this one here it's a lovely little shield, and it's pinned in place as well. It's not glued, it's pinned, which is quite nice. Now this one, of course, isn't actually a shield that's been let in. I think just when it was cast with a flat bit there, which has now then been polished to make it look beautiful. I thought I'd just seen the pin there, but I don't think I have. Anyway, so he got it engraved with my initials. I think that's really great. Obviously, it was probably just deployed to make sure I never sell it, unless I manage to do a deal with Engelbert Humperdinck, if he's even still alive. There aren't many people with the EH initials, so it stays with me. But being more serious for a moment, I never sell anything that anybody's given me as a gift. I'm a bit funny about it. I'm a bit sentimental, really. I get very sentimental about gifts that people send me. I have a few knives that Rick Warthog has sent me, and knowing how difficult his life has been over the last few years with his troubles, it makes my troubles feel insignificant. But he sent me originally. The first thing he ever sent me was a Shatton Morgan toothpick with a mother of pearl shield. That's the first shield I ever got that I really liked, actually, as well. Then it's in buffalo bone, but with a mother of pearl shield, and it's lovely and it's polished and it's beautiful. Pretty much like this. This is lovely and it's polished and it's beautiful too. I think it weighs a bit. I don't know how practical this would be as an everyday carry knife, but I don't think that really matters. I mean, a lot of the knives we carry these days are not necessarily the most practical. What idiot in their right mind would carry that in their pocket? Well, me, obviously. And it's not always the case that the best knives in your collection are the ones you carry, or equally, they're not necessarily the ones you leave in the cupboard either. So there's a good chance I'll carry this, and there's a good chance I will carry this when I'm at some sort of special occasion where having something super fancy like that makes sense. I used to always carry my mother of pearl Barlow. So it's got quite good action on it, actually, for me. A lot of people would say it's probably too soft, but I can open it, and I don't have any complaints about the tightness or not of it. Let's just see what snap it's got. Actually, this arrived last evening. My wife wanted to know what I'd been buying, and I was trying to explain to her. Honestly, nothing. I'd ordered a USB adapter for the car, and I thought it was that, and she said, "No, it's not." Oh, did you hear that? I talked over it. Let me just push that back again. So I swore blind it was that. Then of course I opened it and it's a knife. So of course there's an immediate I thought you weren't buying any knives accusation flying, and I said nope, I definitely didn't, but I did know who sent it. Unfortunately there was no note, or if there was, she opened the parcel, it's gone in the bin. Anyway, listen to this. Yeah, I was just starting to think that I couldn't actually do it. But that's a good thunk in there, but it's not too difficult to open. But it does get to the open and stay there quite well. Now, the next thing about this knife that I want to point out is it is very, very shiny. And that means that you've only got to look at it and you get fingerprints on it. But equally, and perhaps more importantly, this is exactly the same polished blade you would get on a Taylor's Eyewitness Premier Collection knife. But a Premier Collection Barlow, I think you can probably get one for as little as about 150, 170 pounds. But you can buy this from the English Pewter Company for £50. Now, for a gift out of the blue, that's far too much money, and you really shouldn't have spent it on me. I don't deserve it. But thank you, Steel City Knives. But in terms of, just the cost of comparable knives from Taylor's. Actually, this is the lamb's foot, so it's a little bit cheaper. It would be a little cheaper than the Barlow, but it would still be 2.5 times at least the price of this. And for that, you would get perhaps some exotic wood. I suspect there's probably more in the hafting of a traditional wooden knife, because you're starting with a block that isn't the same size as the handle, and you have to by hand shape it, and if you go too far you have to start from scratch. Whereas this, I suspect, I may do them wrong, but I will find out. But I think these are probably cast, so they're put onto the knife in the same way as the sort of Joseph Rogers knives, with just a steel front, a steel back, and no covers on them at all. I suspect it's probably made up like that, and then the covers are added. But I can't say that I know. I'm guessing. Just trying to see what you can see inside in the way of pins. You can see where the back spring pin is. Maybe. Now here's the thing. When you buy a tailor's knife, obviously it's usually Lee or one of his subordinates that actually makes the thing. But then they go to final quality control and checking, and at that point they clean the knives out and make sure that they are shiny on the outside and the inside. I suspect that Julie, for all her checking on there, isn't so experienced with knives, so she's obviously made sure that all the outside is beautifully shiny and lovely, but the inside is, I wouldn't say it's dirty, but it could do with a clean. Anyway, I'm chuffed to bits with this, but it's also given me a potential new avenue to go down, because I think they make about 4 or 5, maybe even half a dozen different patterns of blade. I think the handles are all the same, but they do, there's a spear and a hawk bill and a clip point. But it's a lamb, so it has at least 4, but I think there might be more than that. So anyway, I shall be looking into that. In the meantime, Steel City Knives, you're a bad boy, but I love you all the more for it. Thank you very much for sending me this. It is totally undeserved, but hugely appreciated. So I've rambled along a long way there, but thank you very much, There will be some more regular videos. I've already got a few filmed actually, and then I've got a few more to do, and I've just, as I got a new display case, I've been trying to work out what to put in it. This will, I think, definitely be going in my display case. Unfortunately, that means it's unlikely to get carried very much, but it just looks so good. I can't imagine not putting it in my display case. It'll go along with this probably. I'll keep out some of my Warncliffes that are more everyday carryable, but these will tend to go in there, and they'll only come out when there's a special occasion or when I want to move things around a little bit. So it'll be going in there. What it'll have for company, God only knows at the moment, because I've just gone through a thing where I picked out all the ones I wanted to put in the first display case, and now it's about 48 knives I think I got in there, so I'm going to pick another 48. So I picked my top 48, now I'm going to pick my second top 48, which is even harder. Still, I should just get some more cases and put the whole bloody lot in and be done with it. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm rambling now. If you like this stuff, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please do. And certainly if you don't subscribe to Steel City Knives, why not? Get on there. If you're interested in knives like these and any other Sheffield knives, Steel City Knives is the place to go. But he's not limited to that. He loves American folding knives as well. Goes down that rabbit hole. I chose not to some years ago simply because I thought there was just too many options out there, and I'd end up with a collection that really got out of hand. My wife thinks it's already got out of hand, but she thinks it would really got out of hand. So I'll do an in-depth video on this knife once I know a bit more about it, but I really just wanted to say thank you. I love your channel, it's brilliant. I loved your channel and it was brilliant before you did this. Now it's doubly brilliant. So thank you again, and I'm going now. Bye.